So this is what I look like at the end of December, and this is what I look like now, okay? I'm not gonna bullshit you in this video. To lose love handles, you need to get leaner. That's it, okay? There's no secret. And a lot of people that want to lose their love handles and see them and are disgusted by them just want to kind of rip it off of their body because they're so embarrassed by the fact that they're there. But the fact of the matter is, we need to endure a consistent fat loss period in which we drop our body fat percentage significantly to get rid of the love handles, because that's why they're there. Where we store fat is purely genetic. Some people store more fat in their legs, some people store more fat in their face, and the order of which we store that fat is important too. For me, I can say for myself, my stomach is the first place fat will be stored and it's the last place to go. And that's the same for most people. Most people store fat in this way. So how do you actually lose fat? How do you get down to low body fat percentage to where the love handles just disappear? Very simple. The first thing you need to look at is your nutrition and what you're eating. Because if you're gonna lose fat, you need to avoid hunger as much as possible, because being hungry makes it less likely that you're gonna adhere to your diet, right? So if you're eating poor quality foods and you're constantly hungry as a consequence, then it's gonna be less likely that you're gonna be able to sustain your weight loss phase. So what I recommend is, as a solution, instead of eating Cocoa Pops and stuff like that, and trust me, I used to love Cocoa Pops, as you can see. Man like me just cop something fresh, I just cop some heat for. I cop them Cocoa Pops, you know, man. No joke, that was me. The problem with processed foods, cereals, snack bars, low calorie crisps and stuff like that, right? The problem with them is that you eat them and you are still hungry afterwards. There's never a time where I eat Cocoa Pops and I'm satiated. I eat it and it makes me feel good in the sense that, oh, this tastes nice and my dopamine is just off the charts. But in terms of how I actually feel, I could always eat another bowl. I could keep eating Cocoa Pops all day long, every single day, for the rest of my life, if you gave me the choice, right? If I was being ill-disciplined, I didn't care about how I looked and how I performed and how my brain worked. But that's exactly the problem. If there's a food that you can eat over and over and over again without it actually filling you up, can you eat? At what point do you ask the question, is that even a food? How can it be food if it doesn't fill you up? So what I recommend is focus on a high protein diet. Chicken, beef, eggs, steaks, get your water in, stuff like that, right? All these things will help curb the hunger that you're gonna feel when you're trying to lose these love handles, when you're trying to drop this fat. And if you stick to whole foods 80% of the time, sometimes you can have a little snack. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I have a little snack here and there. That's fine. But it's the proportions. So like 80 to 90% of the time, you wanna have real food, okay? And if you're gonna have bullshit, let that be at such a small scale that it doesn't really make an impact. And obviously, in order for this to all work in terms of losing fat, you need to be in a caloric deficit. I'm telling you now, just aim for 1 pound a week. You don't need to lose any more than that per week, because if you try to lose too much fat too soon, you're gonna burn out. You're probably in a position now where you're pretty fat, right? And you just wanna get lean, you're desperate for it. And the way you see yourself doing that is by losing more than £1 per week. I tell you to lose £1 a week, you're thinking, no, I'm gonna lose 2. But the problem with that is, are you actually gonna lose fat faster? Because it's more likely, the more aggressive you try to lose weight, that you're gonna quit and fail and burn out. So if you take the person that's guaranteed to lose £1 a week because it's maintainable and it's pretty easy to adhere to, and they just gotta do a certain couple of steps and not kill themselves trying to do it, and you compare that to the person that's trying to lose £2-3 a week and literally has to starve each and every single day because they're in such a harsh deficit, who do you think's guaranteed to get to their goal? And who's gonna do it faster? It's probably this one. It's probably this guy that's losing £1 per week because it's sustainable and it works. Go for £1 per week and make sure the food that you're consuming is high quality, real food. Basically foods where the only ingredient is the food itself. For instance, an apple. What ingredients are in an apple? An apple. So the second thing you need to do is walk. Walk at least 14,000 steps a day. That's if you're serious about getting in shape. I was struggling to lose any form of weight at the start of my cut when I was being inactive, when I was just relying on diet alone to lose fat. And I was just training, I was going to the gym, I would drive to the gym rather than walk. Now the thing is, training in the gym doesn't burn a lot of calories, okay? So I'm basically burning no calories in my day because I have a sedentary job on top of that. So the only activity I do in the day is go to the gym, but that doesn't even burn calories. But when I started adding in steps into my routine, I started with 10,000 and I immediately noticed a difference. I started dropping weight and I started looking leaner. Then I started bumping it up to 14,000 and I was like, damn, this is really working. And I started seeing real changes. And then I went to 20,000 a day. Now, you don't have to do 20,000 a day. That's what I do because it works for me. 14,000 a day is what I recommend at the very least if you're really serious about getting into shape this summer. Because walking 14,000 steps a day burns roughly 500 calories, right? 500, 600, depends on your height and weight and pace and all that kind of stuff. But let's just say 500 calories. 500 calories a day is 3,500 calories a week, which is a pound of fat. You literally can lose a pound of fat just by walking more, okay? So get the walking in. That's gonna help you drop your weight and drop your fat dramatically. And the last thing you need to be doing, and I've already touched on it, is to train, weight train, resistance training. It could be calisthenics or weights. I did calisthenics and weights, okay? But the point is resistance training to signal to your body to maintain the muscle, because if you don't train your muscles, your body in a caloric deficit will decide to burn the muscle first, because it's the most demanding thing for your body to maintain whilst in a deficit, and it's the easiest energy source to access compared to fat when you're in a deficit. So make sure that you're weight training. Give your body a stimulus to keep the muscle and even grow muscle sometimes, depending on your training history. And the thing is, the love handles aren't gonna go as a result of you doing abs and like oblique twists and all that kind of stuff. Like, it doesn't work like that. I didn't lose my love handles by doing that. I did abs like maybe once, twice a week. Every time I've lost my love handles, I haven't really focused on abs too much. It's just kind of like a supplementary thing that I do. But the main thing that I'm doing is being in a deficit, walking and weight training, like my chest and my arms and stuff like that. Not even necessarily my abs. And the thing is, this is what I'm trying to say. The fat will disappear as a result of you losing weight, okay? That's how the love handles go. So at least 3 times per week, get in the gym, give your muscles a reason to stick around. And if you really want your abs to pop and you really want to take your physique to the next level, yes, train abs at least twice a week. Now you can train abs every day if you want to. I didn't do that. I didn't train abs every day. I just did it twice a week. I did stuff like hanging leg raises, toes to bars, rollouts, Russian twists, and like those little YouTube ab workouts that you can find from like Jeff Cavalier and stuff. I did some of those as well, but not too much, okay? But the main thing is get the body fat percentage down, and that comes through activity levels, high activity levels, and a caloric deficit. And that's it. That's how you lose love handles, and it's going to take time. And the thing is, the love handles might be the last thing to go. So you might be dieting for a while, making progress, you're looking better, but your love handles are still there. It just means that you have to keep dieting, okay? It just means that you have to keep in this caloric deficit on your fat loss phase, and eventually they will go, and you have to be patient. And sometimes when we're losing weight, we tend to look at the area we want to lose the most. So for me, it was always like my abs, right? And I would be losing fat everywhere else, on my face, on my arms and stuff like that. But because it wasn't in that one area that I wanted it to go the most, I would get disheartened. But the fact of the matter is, it will go, and it does go, but it just takes time. You have to let the process play out. You just have to know if you're doing the right things every single day, the things I told you in this video, and you're really sticking to your calories and you're tracking everything, and you're on point with it, the fat will go. And eventually the love handles will go, so don't stress. So that's basically it. If you're trying to get into shape this summer, you don't want to waste time, you don't want to make the mistakes that I made, and you want to ensure that your process is optimal for getting to your goals, there's a link in the description. You can apply for my one-to-one coaching, where I help individuals such as yourself make a transformation from out of shape to in shape. So if you're interested in that, click the link, apply, fill out the form, and we'll jump on a free call where we can discuss your goals and figure out where we want to go from there. Anyway, till the next one, peace.